Welcome back, everyone. Toy Shiz here, and we are back yet again for another Hasbro Marvel Legends video. Today, we're going to be looking at the offshoot line, their new Maximum series, of which it is a higher price point than most Marvel Legends, even though we all know Marvel Legends have gotten up there. Well, the Maximum series is even more expensive. And of course, this is the second figure in the line, the Incredible Hulk, complete with all kinds of screaming head portraits. Yay. Now, the big draw for this figure, as it was kind of marketed and how I kind of went, oh, okay, I guess, this Hulk can do the Hulk clap. So rest assured, we will be trying that out because, again, this seems to be the figure that can do it all. And hopefully with a name like the Maximum series, it can do it all, especially at the price point. Now, what I typically like to do, and when it lines up and Jada Toys has some new Street Fighter figures, I like to do a little Marvel vs. Capcom mashup, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing here today. So the two new contenders include Blanka. Always loved Blanka. Always loved his electrical shocking powers. That was fun to really cheese your opponents with. The backside, not really much to write home about. You get a nice photo of the character, but you get to see all the characters that they have released as action figures so far, and then all the ones that are upcoming as well. Very excited to continue this line, that's for sure. And then we have Sagat. Sagat is one that I have had since WonderCon of this year, but I've just been kind of waiting to really make a cool video with this. So thanks for patiently waiting, but he is one that I'm definitely interested in checking out. Here's the barcode. You can use this barcode at Target, let's say, for Blanka and Sagat. They're all going to be under the same DPCI, of course, or I will put links down in the description below for Entertainment Earth. Now, the reason we're going to be taking a look at the Maximum Hulk is that recently Entertainment Earth had some non-mint boxes up for sale. It was around $52, a price that I was a little bit more inclined to pay as opposed to the $75 that this typically goes for, just FYI. So it is a pretty penny, and you really have to consider that when you are making purchases these days. Everything is going up, and these are just luxury items. And that being said, if you're not into Marvel Legends and perhaps you're just here for the Jada Street Fighters, you can pre-order Blanka or Sagat, or you can grab Vega, who isn't out yet, but again, he's definitely one that I am looking forward to. Or forget all of these and just go for Mega Man. There's a brand new wave. Wave 3 is up for pre-order. So lots of fun. Lots of Marvel vs. Capcom mashups to be had on Entertainment Earth. And if you use the code EARTH10 at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. But everything has to be in stock, just FYI. That's kind of the caveat. So definitely check out Entertainment Earth for all your shopping needs. Guarantee you'll find something there that you like. But that being said, we have a fight on our hands. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new Hasbro Maximum series, the Incredible Hulk, versus the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Sagat and Blanka. Insert quarters to continue. All right, so we're going to kick it off with the Jada Toys aspect first. And I got to tell you, when I look at these Street Fighter figures, I rarely have any complaints, very few nitpicks. They're just kind of fun for the sake of being Street Fighter characters. They have all the paint, they have all the accessories, and you really never have to buy another Blanka or a Sagat. So with Sagat here, you have his hands, kind of grabby hands with the wraps around. Very cool. Everything is painted really nicely. Then you have an extra head portrait of which he's gritting his teeth. I like that he's got the big slice down the side of his face, and he's got that oh sweet eye patch going on. It's a home run. It's a great extra head portrait. His tiger shot effect looks great. This is another one of those aspects of the Jada Street Fighter line that I really like. They give him the powers, the energy balls, whatever it takes to really bring these characters to life on your shelf. And that is definitely something I've brought up about Marvel Legends over the years. And thankfully, recently, they've started to include more powers, and we'll see how things go with this Maximum Hulk. But with this standee and his power effects and all the articulation that Sagat has, you can definitely get this fireball a-launching. And that is what makes these characters come to life. That looks awesome. So if you have Sagat versus Cammy, and all of a sudden, yeah, you're going to launch one of these off, heck yeah, that looks frickin' rad. Or just fully take out Guile. That's just cool. And again, that's what I want to see with my action figures. Now, in terms of the overall character of Sagat, did they nail it? Heck yeah, he's a tall sucker. These are deluxe, both he and Blanka, so they are a little bit higher in price, much like the Maximum Hulk, but not nearly that expensive. The one thing I really like about this, though, is that Jada really knows how to do the flesh color well. He's pinless, he has some nice shading, he doesn't look mechanical, and that's something that a lot of companies seemingly run into a lot of these days, is that while you have flesh, or as with The Simpsons by Jakks Pacific, or Super 7 and the Ninja Turtles recently with the 2003 series, they just look overly mechanical, and that is not something I'd say about Jada Toys. So well done. I love the big slice down his side. You can get his arms going every which way. It's just fun. He's got butterflies for days, biceps, double jointed elbows. The musculature looks good. The shading on the skin looks good. Again, like I said, very little complaints. Look at that ab crunch right there. You go every which way, all over the place. And that's what's fun for a character or characters that come from a franchise called Street Fighter. You're really going to expect to get these guys into every martial arts pose that you could think of. And in this case, Muay Thai pose. But like I said, with the feet, with the wrappings, with the paint, the shorts, the red, the little white square on the red of his shorts, it all looks good, and it just looks like he's ready for battle on your shelf. And I can't say enough nice things about this figure. And just to tell you, the balance on these things are insane. But we'll see if he lasts the entire review of Blanka, which maybe I can say something bad about Blanka. Who knows? But he also gets some extra hands. They painted the fingernails. Keep that in mind for the more expensive Maximum Hulk when we look at him. You also get the alternate head portrait with the big old snarly teeth. I'm angry Blanka. That's really cool. And then you have his big old mane of fire red and orange hair. It's got a nice wash to it. It's got some extra yellow in there. Really brings it to life. And it's very gummy. Now, this type of thing worries me over time. How's it going to look 10, 12 years? That's going to be kind of another point I'll make about the Maximum Hulk when we get there. But it just looks solid, and it really adds to the articulation when you start moving the head around. You also get some electrical zappy effects, and that's perfect for a character like Blanka. They situate on the ground. It's got a gradual yellow to white effect in the coloring. It looks like electricity. That nails the effects, the powers of Blanka. And when you utilize his awesome articulation, and you have these however you want them, in whichever direction you want to place them, side, front, however, yeah, that's me button mashing when I'm playing as Blanka and praying something happens, and they brought it to life right here on your shelf. So well done. And again, much like Sagat, just activating his powers and frying the heck out of Guile, sending him flying across the screen. This is what makes toys fun on your shelf. Now, in terms of the articulation scheme for Blanka, it's really going to be the same thing as Sagat. You're going to be able to crouch him down, as you saw. You're going to get him fighting in all those positions that you would like from a video game. The head turns from the neck. It's two pieces. The big old fire mane of his, it's gummy on both the head portraits. It doesn't knock into the shoulders. It's not like, we'll say, a female action figure with long hair. You really only have so much articulation when you have that going on. No, it doesn't bother this figure at all. You do have some really great butterfly joints. That is something else that I'll be bringing up with the Hulk as well. But it achieves, we'll say, if he had the correct hands, he could be doing the Blanka clap as well. So just FYI, it's interesting choices overall. But the green is a nice shade of Blanka green. You have his orange fur, nice musculature, nice shading. His shorts look good with the white tatters along the base and the top. You have his shackles right here, some orange tufts of fur as well. Completely pinless. It's just great. It's a great looking action figure. It's a fun action figure. And I will say this, for both he and Sagat, when you articulate these figures, nothing feels like it's going to break, snap. It all feels solid. Can they be gummy sometimes? Sure. And I will say that in the case of Blanka here, he's a little bit gummy, but he never falls over. He never has loose joints. Nothing like that. And that really goes for all the Street Fighter figures that I've checked out thus far, minus maybe Chun-Li's head. One time was a little bit loose when you swap out the head portraits, but that's something they seem to have nailed. So overall, from the articulation, the paint, the character representation, it's pretty solid. And Sagat is still standing. Let's see if we can do something about that. Now, in terms of the scalature for Blanka and Sagat with other characters from the Street Fighter line, heck yeah, that totally fits. And yes, I know you're going to want to see Blanka standing up, so we'll do that as well. You can clearly see that, yeah, these all fit nicely together. So now to go from Street Fighter to Hasbro Marvel Legends with this Maximum Hulk, you can see everything you get in the box. But what exactly are the differences from this Hulk and a Hulk you may already have in your collection? Well, a friend of mine told me that this new Maximum Hulk is amazing, so I had to check him out. But if you zoom in, you can clearly see that this new Maximum Hulk has a new upper body. He's got some new head portraits, and he has some updated toe articulation, whereas this one doesn't really have any of that. But I still like this Hulk, and I know you're wondering, can you swap the head portraits? It doesn't really pick it up on the camera, but the greens from the old Hulk to this new Hulk really don't fit. That being said, though, with everything inside this Maximum Hulk's box, does it really do a good job of bringing the character to life? Will we ever need another Hulk? With these hands that you get, I really do wish that they would have painted the fingernails or done something a little bit more to them to kind of emphasize the maximum aspect. With the, let's say, rocket that you get, one hand doesn't really grip it while the other one does. Why not two grippy hands? That's kind of an odd choice, I will say. The clappy hands, the waving hands, they're really sculpted nicely. And yes, not to beat a dead horse, but it could have had a little bit more paint overall. These effect pieces are what you stick on the clappy hands. You can also use them for the other hands, but primarily to achieve the clap, right? That's what we're going for. There's a little bit of a yellow tone to the clear plastic. I wish that was a lot more green. We'll just say that, because on the box, it's very green. Here, it's a yellowish to the green that doesn't really match. You get the idea. It's supposed to be a big force effect, and he's doing one heck of a loud Hulk clap. Now, with the extra head portraits, which are based on a variety of different artists' take on Hulk over the years, don't really do much for me. I like the big old teeth one a lot more than the screaming one. Also kind of looks like you want to brush his teeth. He's definitely using some charcoal toothpaste, that's for sure. This piece right here sort of completes the clap, or at least is meant to complete the clap with a starburst of energy. It's clear plastic with some yellow. It's a little bit confusing. I'll show you how all of it works. And then you get a rocket, of which I will tell you it's my favorite accessory in this box. The fire piece does come out, so you can just have the rocket itself. One cool aspect is that it comes apart. You see the red wire, the blue wire. There's no yellow wire, so I don't know which one to cut. But here's where it gets lackluster. I'm appreciative that they put some different colored wires in there, but it's all one solid gray, silverish kind of color, and it's really devoid of any excitability here. Also, it just kind of dawned on me is that this looks like a reused fire piece, but rockets have one kind of solid burst of energy. It's not like a wispy kind of energy, so that's kind of a bummer, I will say. It just doesn't really look the best, and now that's all that I can really see. When it comes to the Hulk himself, I do like this head portrait. It kind of reminds me of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, kind of, sort of. He's kind of got the Peaky Blinders haircut going on, but he also looks kind of evil at the same time. Perhaps the leader is messing with him, or Gargoyle. Oh man, how great would it be to get a Gargoyle figure? You're going to see the exact same articulation. You see right here, they've added some extra paint on the pants that doesn't really go all the way around. It kind of stops right there with the tatteredness, which is fine. It's not sculpted in, but at least the rest of the rips and the tears have that distressed look. So that's good all the way around. I like that they added that. You also get some toe articulation. This is where things kind of go south a little bit, because the legs are very gummy, and then the feet and the toes are a little bit loose. And you're going to be wanting to do this clappy thing, which is going to have a lot of momentum going forward and not a lot of stability, unfortunately. And that is something that I really found with this figure, is that the legs don't really support him, and he's going to go toppling more so than anything. Oh, and also this time around, the new chest piece is a soft Nerf foam-like rubber, of which, if you're curious, yes, you can give him the old Hulk nipple pinch right there. So it's interesting. I really do feel like this is kind of a test to see if this works, if collectors like it. And it's also meant to really emphasize the whole clappy aspect. So you can kind of see how the musculature kind of folds in on itself. But if you look at Blanka with just solid plastic and his butterfly joints, he does the exact same thing. And like I said, if he had clappy hands, yeah, you could get Blanka doing clappy hands. I much prefer solid plastic because I know what's going to happen to this in about 10 to 12 years, or who knows, maybe sooner. The whole Nerf foam effect wraps around the entire upper body, just FYI. So it's one giant kind of fold over piece. Again, is interesting, but let's say this, and here's the challenge. Let's all meet back here 20 years from now and we can show each other how our Maximum Hulks look. Just FYI, because yeah, that is definitely not going to hold up after time. While a lot of people, including myself, will get Hulk a-roaring just like that and be totally fine, a lot of people, because they bought this figure, are definitely going to want to pose him doing the clap. And I'll tell you again, with the effect pieces, with the clap hands, with the butterflies and the Nerf foam chest, sure, you can get them relatively close to each other, but as I said previously, he's very top heavy, and you really have to get the feet locked and loaded to make this work. It falls over more times than I can count. But once you do have him all set, that's when you can see if you want to use this piece right here. Now, you really have to get the hands close together, and you can do it, just FYI, but he's going to fall every single time and take out Sagat. But here's the thing, is that it doesn't really look the best. I would say the whoosh part of the clap looks good, but if anything, this little starburst, it just really doesn't work for me. You could put a character, like Hulk is going to clap this dude's head off, and it goes over, and yeah, that totally works. But combining the hands and then putting this over the hand, it doesn't work. It's too much. And that coupled with the articulation and having him fall forward, it's a cumbersome figure, if anything. The whooshy parts, if you don't want to do the claps, work with the other hands, batting away a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, or thoroughly pummeling Sagat into the ground. It's up to you, but I am happy to say that they at least work with the other hands. Not absolutely perfect, but yes, it does work overall, and at least it's some nice effect pieces. To see this new Maximum Hulk with other Hulk entities and characters that you would place with Hulk, he's going to be the exact same height, basically, as the other prior released Hulk. So there's not really anything crazy, but if you're into this Hulk, yeah, he'll go well with other characters on your shelf. And in terms of a Marvel vs. Capcom setup, while again, these head portraits are not really going to be the right type, shape, everything else, at least he's fun. He's got a nice shade of green. He's got the purple pants, although Marvel vs. Capcom Hulk, maybe not so evil, and then more of a purpley brown. I'm sure we'll see another Hulk later on for their Gamerverse line. So that's going to wrap it up for my look at 3 brand new action figures. The new Hasbro Marvel Legends Maximum Series Hulk, which, again, if you're setting up a Marvel vs. Capcom scenario on your shelf, you got Marrow, you got Mega Man, heck yeah. This Hulk, though, I'm going to tell you to pass. It's just not all that great. It's way too expensive, and it is not the last Hulk you'll ever need. Far from it. But in terms of Blanka and or Sagat, if you're a fan of Street Fighter, they're a no-brainer. They're fun. They're the last versions of these characters you'll ever need. The articulation is solid, and they're just fun. Unlike the Maximum Hulk, he's kind of a dud. He's kind of a bummer, and that's unfortunately a bummer for those of you who are out there looking to grab yourself an Incredible Hulk. So you've heard my thoughts, and until the next one, I will leave you guys with that. Adios.